Of the dozens of videos that I've watched to help me set out my rig, I wanted to give back and let you know what I've done to mine. A lot of them are modifications that plenty of videos out there document how to do those. I'll just tell you the ones that I found beneficial to my rig, and I'll let you decide from there. One of the main ones is updating the steering servo. In the stock servo, you can sit here and turn your wheels back and forth, and this thing just goes back and forth. With the new servo, the upgraded one, it's a lot stronger, and it will not turn back and forth. The two screws that I use to secure it, you will need to scavenge those from the pins back here, because you need to have long ones because it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit in there like the stock servo ones. And what I used in here was the extra hood latch pin that came with the truck itself, and I've just put that back in there. It still works the same, and it's actually easier to get off. You don't have to take your screwdriver to that. Another thing is I invested in a good set of wrenches and tools. The little Allen wrench that comes with this, it works, but it's just too small, and to get into the areas that you need to get into, this makes it a lot easier. With the other modification that I made, I went ahead and bought a small drill set. This was like $8, and I'll leave a link down below so you can go to that. But I needed this to create that front bull bar, and I have not seen this online yet. The reason I did it, or came up with it, is because I updated the front suspension to a 4-link, and there's plenty of videos out there for that too. The upper links right here used to be the actual lower links. You get rid of that wishbone, which I've seen lots of videos where it actually rubs on the drive shaft. And also, when you switch to a 4-link, it gives you much better articulation. And how I did this conversion is I bought the long wheelbase kit from Axial just to get the little ball joints. Those little ball joints in there will fit right into the trailing arms, because that's what you call them. And it just makes for a little bit more professional fit, and it's actually made for that. So you don't have to rig it up in any way. You just snap those little ball joints into the bars, and then they screw right in, and you've got yourself a 4-link. The new drive shaft that it either came with the kit or it came with the original kit. I can't remember which one it was, but it didn't have to do any cutting, and that all went right in there. But the problem with converting it to 4-link is you'll see the front drive shaft, or front axle gets pushed out, and then which makes it will interfere with your articulation and get bind up here. So you either have to run it with no front bumper, or what I did is I actually mocked up a front bull bar using the original parts. So what I scavenged was this section right here. Cut that out, and you will see that is actually this part right here that goes up around like this. And then I used the front bumper because I wanted to get my lights back on there. I actually cut each end of the bumper off because I needed the placement for the lights. The bottom section I actually glued to the bottom to the part that I pulled off the roll cage, and then that gave me a nice place to glue the headlights in. And then the top piece, I just took one of the shorter links for the suspension, cut about, I think it was 12 millimeters out of the center, glued it back together, and these ends fit right over there. So this actually is not glued, it just fit on there nice and tight. How I attached the bull bar is that I was using the the micro set that I got, and originally you drill a 0.75 millimeter hole through the center, and then for a screw to fit in there you bump that up to a 0.95. I found that just trying to do the 0.95 it just wasn't going, but that smaller bore hole, like a pilot hole, I was able to drill through that pretty easily, and then go back with the bigger drill, because it's just all you are is just twisting it with your hand, so it's pretty monotonous. I was able to find the Betty rims and tires. These are the Rock Lizards, and then these are the Rockstar rims. I was able to get a set of those. One nice thing about these is compared to the stock ones, is your wheel is actually offset further in, which pushes your tire out. So it actually gives it a little bit wider stance than using your stock wheels and tires. Plus they're just a little bit wider tire themselves. So unfortunately I haven't been able to run this setup yet, only because I burnt out the motor, and of course those are all back ordered from everywhere. So I just wanted to go back stock. I didn't feel like putting in the new barrage and making all those modifications, at least not yet. I'm going to stick to simple mods so far, and then maybe later on get a little more radical. But these are the stock shocks, pretty much all stock components minus the steering servo. So y'all take it easy, and we'll see you on the rocks of the world.